Welcome back to a further episode of Men's Inner Health with Mark Randall. In this conversation, I'm going to talk about energies. Yep, energies. What are energies? Are we just full of energy? What sort of, energy. There's a quote by Tony Robbins: where focus goes, energy flows. Now, when we're focused, are we just intellectually focused? Yes. Mentally focused? Yes. Emotionally focused? Potentially. Spiritually focused? Where energy is flowing. Connections to other people. A lot of it is non-verbal at an energetic level. How do we men learn to connect to this deeper energy, this flow of unconscious, deeper energies? Because the more we become aware of those energies, our bodies just, everything works on energy. Put out positive energy and we're going to attract positive energy back. Put out negative energy and what are we going to attract back? Negative energy or resistance. The more we men begin to notice the deep fathoms of our psyche, there is such deep richnesses within ourselves that we're just not aware of. In therapy and self-development, it's about building self-reflection, about building self-development, personal growth. And personal growth isn't just at a physical level. Ice baths and eat the right foods and go to the gym, and they're important. I'm not saying they're not. They do help our mental health, they do help our mental thinking, and they can also help our emotional energy and our spiritual energy. And how do we become more aware of our deeper energies? When we're in moods, what's our energy like? What are you vibrating out of your psyche? What are you vibrating physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? How do you notice that energy? Or is that just a familiar energy that you have just learned to live with? How do you learn to change that energy? What do we men need to do differently to be able to connect to these different energies that exist within our psyche? Learning to become more intuitively aware of how we operate on all realms. I believe our psyche or our personality, we've got many different personality traits. In voice dialogue, they call them the selves. We've got positive personality traits, negative personality traits, all of which contain energies. Some are good energies and some are not so good energies. They're all designed to self-preserve this delicate, fragile sense of self. And where do we men hide that? Energetically, where do we hide that delicate, fragile sense of ourself? Well and truly, for nowhere to be seen. I can't show that bit, for God's sake. I don't too much shame around that. That's not. And again, energetically, how do we stop, begin to notice these things, to be able to energetically get to know the flow of our being, the flow of our moods, the flow of our sense of self. In a previous episode I talked about being open-hearted, developing a deep inner spiritual resilience. Perhaps that spiritual resilience belongs or is emulated through our spirit warrior. Now, a spirit warrior doesn't need to go out aggressively hunting and killing people. That's not what this is about. Learning to connect to the deep energies of our sadness, the deep energies of our disappointment, the deep energies of our happiness. When we're talking about energies, it's sort of like, it's the vibe. We've all got this intuitive antenna, this intuitive radar. Maybe it's the amygdala in the reptilian brain, that's it's emotionally salient. It just it just knows. Learning to recognize the energetic nuances. We do vibe. We have that. It's like a sixth sense, which is, it's hard to put that into an intellectual language or academic, but that sixth sense, that inner knowing, it's there. That gut feeling. That's energy. There's something that doesn't need to be words said. We're picking it up on a different vibration. We're picking it up at a deeper level, maybe beyond our thinking intellectual brain. Maybe it's, from a CBT perspective, maybe it's the metacognition part of it. Who knows? I don't want to get into the fancy academic. I want to try and keep it as simple as possible. Where focus goes, energy flows. When we're focused, what are we, just being intellectually focused? No, I don't think so. It's like, when we're fully focused, we're fully in there. And when we're energetically fully in there, wow, what a powerful energy that will bring. And we're fully engaged, we're fully in there, we're powerful. And we can't always sustain that, but energetically, as we become more intuitively, how do we learn to intuitively sense the slight nuances of our energy changing? When we're fully in there, what a gift. Oh, what a powerful gift. What a beautiful energy. And when you're fully in there giving that energy out, what's the flow-on effect of that energy? What do you notice? What comes back? Energetically, what comes back? Do the doors open? Energetically, do the doors open? How do you receive? How do you receive that energy back? How do you open your being? How do you open your heart to receive that energy? Connecting to this energy, connecting to the vibe. I jokingly say, it's like, there's a movie here called The Castle, and it's the vibe of the it's a vibe of the Constitution, Your Honour. The vibe of the Constitution. It's a great line. But yeah, how do we energetically pick up on our vibes? When we can get in touch with those deeper energies, bring them forward, feel into them, deeply breathe in and feel that energy, feel the power of that energy, follow it. How motivating is your energy when you're in that zone? The flow-on effect. What a gift. You focus, and in that focus, there's one single point of concentration, or there might be a few, but the list of things is off the agenda, and you're in there. What a gift. The more we move, well, we can't get out of our heads, but the more we can learn to open our psyches up to the depths of our being. We've got consciousness, we've got unconscious, subconscious. A lot of old subconscious energies will still be chugging away in there. How do we begin to notice those energies? And can we ask, hey, what does that energy need? Maybe it might need some attention. What it needed back then, but it didn't get. How do we give it that attention instead of being shackled by that? In your relationship to your partner. Someone asked from a men's group in Tasmania the other day, what intimacy, how do we men have intimacy with our partners? Intimacy is a connection. It's an energetic connection. There's the physical stuff, there's the mental stuff, obviously. But what women are wanting from us men, they don't want the 2 + 2. Sometimes they need the 2 + 2 thinking brain and problem solving, but they want connection. They want a presence. They want that heartfelt energy of connection. And I jokingly said, as soon as we mention the word intimacy in here, men go to sexual intimacy. No, there's this, we're missing a step. It's the deepening, there's that deepening energetic connection, that loving presence of just energy. They feel it, they sense it, they know they know when your eyes are about to roll back in your head. Learning to really become more aware of our energies, and nature works on energy. Everything works on energy. We work on energy. Get to know your energy, and the more you know that energy, the more you can flow it into whatever area it needs to be. There are times where that energy needs to flow back into yourself, and that's fine. That's important. That's self-care. Don't judge that space when you need to give some of that energy back. Be honest and authentic and say, hey sweetheart, right now, or whoever it is, friends, I just need some downtime. learning to connect to these energies beyond our intellect is essential for our well-being. It's essential for our self-development. It's essential for our self-growth, our self-reflection. Could this energy, and again, put the comments down below, could this energy be the deep spiritual essence of yourself that's burgeoning to come forth? Imagine the more we men start to be able to, vibe on that space. What a gift. Oh, start small. Start with your friend, your best friend. Your best friend, your partner, then, your mates. Start with yourself. Notice the subtle energies, the subtle flows of your energy levels. And where focus goes, energy flows. The more you flow that energy out, that positive energy, what's going to radiate back? What energy is going to radiate back? And if it doesn't radiate back, it doesn't matter, because energetically you've got a deep well energetically of this beautiful energy. Be gentle and enjoy.